Okay, so this is just a quick little demonstration on how to use your TI-83 to calculate the mean and standard deviation. The data set I'm going to use for this is the biostatistics practice problem set. This is up on Blackboard, and it's looking at the shell thickness of snails, which is dependent upon the habitat that the snails come from, whether or not there's pressure from predation. So we have a data set here with crabs. We have values, these are millimeters, and then we have our values with where there's no crabs around again. So we're going to get a TI-83, and again, this might be a little different for different versions of this calculator, but there's, if that's the case, get out there and figure out how to use your calculator. That's what this is really all about. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, you have to turn it on. That should make sense. And we're going to hit clear here, so this is what we have. We're going to hit the stat button right here. And the stat button is going to take us into a menu, and we're actually going to, the default is where we're going to start, so that happens to work out that way for us. But if not, we would click the number. So we're going to click the number 1, and when we click on 1, we get into our data sets. So in this case, there's already some data in here, so we're going to get rid of that. To do that, we're going to click over to number 2 and go up to the top, and we're going to hit clear and then enter. And if there had been a list of data, that entire list would be gone. So we're going to use list 1, and this is where we're going to enter our data set. So we start right here with 1.02, and we're going to click that in. So 1.02. Then you click on enter, and then you go right across. So 0.88 is the second data set. And I'm going to do this, and I'll catch up to you in just a second. So just see if you can follow along with your calculator. Okay, so we have our 12 data points in. That's denoted right here by the number 12. And you may have noticed when I was entering this data point here, I made a mistake, and I just hit clear to go back. But let's say I'm looking at this list and I realize, as I should realize, that this 1.62 version here is incorrect. So this should be 0.79. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these arrows. I'm going to scroll up to that data point. So this should be 0.83. I definitely have some problems in here, right? So let's go back through. So 1.02, 0.88, 0.75, 0.94, 0.81, 0.98, 0.79. That should be 0.79. So I'm just going to simply leave that highlighted and go 0.7. Oh, I'm going to make a mistake here. So again, 0.79. Enter. And then that's been replaced. And then the next point is a 0.83, so I'm definitely having some problems here. Enter. Then it should be 0.86. And then finish it with 1.05. Okay. So this is my 12th data point here, 1.05. So that's correct. Okay. And then this was our line 1 or set 1 is ours with crabs. So with crab, and you can name W1. You can change this title at the top. You can make this WC. You do that by hitting the alpha and some of the letters here. I'm not going to bother with that because I don't want to mess up what I have, but you can figure that out. You don't have to do it to have this work. So for list 2, again, I'm just going to go back through and we're going to enter from our data. And again, 0.71. .78. Okay, and I'm going to continue doing this again and try not to make any mistakes going down. Okay, so here I have data set number 2 in this column, data set number 1. So with crabs here, and then without crabs in line 2. Okay, so then for calculating the mean and standard deviation, I'm going to go back into stat, and then here instead of being on edit, I'm going to go over to calc, and I'm looking for one variable stats. Okay, so again, that happens to be the default. That just happens. That happened this way. So we're going to leave that and click on number 1, and then we're going to look at the one variable stats for number 1. So we're going to click second, and then L1, enter, and here we have our mean. So 0.89 is our mean, and then we're looking for the standard deviation, and in a TI-83 there's a difference, there's 2 standard deviations given. The one is SX and the other is sigma x. SX is the one we want to use. That has our degrees of freedom as n minus 1. So this is the mean, excuse me, that value divided by 11 as opposed to 12 down here. So 0.93 is our standard deviation for that data set. And if we want to get the mean and standard deviation for the second data set, again, we go back to stat. We're going to click on calc again, back to one variable stats. And then here, we're going to go and we're going to go second, and then we're going to go to list number 2 and click enter. And again, now we have our average as 0.56, and our standard deviation for that data set is 0.15. Okay, so this is for the second data set. So now we have the mean and standard deviation for with crabs and the mean and standard deviation for without. Okay, so that's just a quick little rundown on how to use your TI. I hope it helps out, and let me know if you have any other questions.